This is Metropole Television, most certainly business. My name is Simba Elijah Charles Kiage. Welcome to the last part of our show this morning. We want to talk about technology still in addressing the unpredictability of pandemics. Now let's talk about it therefore. Pandemics are unpredictable and infection outbreaks, like previous threats, are now part of our lives. So the question now is, how can we predict and prevent them in the future? Is that even possible? All right, joining us is a team that is actually working on that, a technology that can help prevent future pandemics. And to talk about that is Glenna Jiwani, a marketing manager with Infrared Limited. Glenna, good morning.
Good morning, and what a lovely cold weather we have today, eh?
It's beautiful. All right, now let's talk about that as well. Something that's going to make somebody say, haha, are you sure that we can actually prevent and predict future pandemics? Glenna, how?
So, I would have loved to have come out with the infrared technology, but for us as a company, which is Infrared Limited, we formed it about 7 months ago. We spent the earlier parts in undertaking the best global practices, particularly in systems that would facilitate Kenyan companies in application of surface disinfection and temperature monitoring systems. So we have two products that are specific to the areas. So for the surface disinfection, we have partnered with a US-based company called Victor Innovations. As you can see behind me, these are the products right behind me. And they are the leading electrostatic spray manufacturers that have patented technology in cutting edge when it comes to disinfectant dispersal.
Yes.
What is electrostatic, you ask me?
Yes.
Well, when you turn on the machine, the disinfectant is automatically given a positive charge through the patent charging rings. So this makes the liquid wrap around the surface that are negative or neutral. And since two positive repel, we learned that from science. When two positive, touch each other, they repel.
Yes.
Hence, giving disinfectant a very evenly spread and no wastage or little or no wastage, and there's no requirement for wipe down, which is where contamination can occur.
Pretty much. So
Exactly.
let me just take you back a bit again, so we can actually understand this infrared technology. Is it quite heavily applied? Is this a new application, if you may?
No, it's not. So basically, it's not the infrared technology. It's Infrared Limited, and we've brought in two products from one from the US, which is the electrostatic sprayer.
Yes.
I think so it's the mainly electrostatic sprayer that we are working with right now in terms of surface disinfection. So for high touch areas where you spray, like hotels, is for example. So doors, light switch, telephone, remote controls are high touch zone areas. And this
Yes.
Technology actually wraps around, when you spray it, it wraps around evenly on the surface or on any high touch zones.
So somebody was going to ask you, Glenn, from what you said it this morning, is this what we needed as a country for that efficiency when we're talking about controlling such an infectious pandemic like COVID-19?
Exactly. So the thing with the electrostatic sprayer, like you said, it is efficient and effective because the turnaround in terms of cleaning an area is very quick, especially, for example, for a restaurant. You sit in, you dine, you get out. And what do you have to do? Disinfect it. This can disinfect the whole table in less than a minute, maybe like 20, 30 seconds, because it's just a spray down, disinfects it. You don't need to wipe it down. And then the next patrons come and sit down.
Pretty much. So the next question is going to be, I don't know what the reception has been so far, because Glenn, it comes at a time when you will say that the coronavirus pandemic is still with us here. Nobody knows exactly when it's going to end. And that's when most people now and businesses are starting to come back again, need this sort of efficiency. What has the reception been so far, would you say?
So with our clients, thankfully, the reception has been very fantastic. I mean, because particularly of the efficiency and effectiveness of application of the products. I mean, it's become part of their daily routine in restaurants and hotels, airlines, farms, professional offices, it's become a part of their life, and it's making their life easier in terms of disinfecting and not cleaning per se, because you still have to do your cleaning, and then this is when the disinfection comes in.
Somebody's going to ask you as well, is it scalable down to personal use? Because that is now where also the bigger focus is. Because even as we're talking about disinfecting places and areas, people also have to disinfect. Is it scalable down to that use?
It can be, but the problem is most of this products that we have is
Yes.
professional.
Yes.
Professional in a way that where there's a lot of traffic footfall coming into your offices or your establishments. For a consumer based product, I think it'd have to be more of a smaller product than this, because it is, in terms of the pricing of it, it's more for the professional industries.
Glenn, I'm going to ask you this as well, and I would like you to help me understand. Is there something like a Kenyan product? Because then it looks as if it's brought in now. Is there something like that? Will somebody look at it and say, well, this is not for us here?
Well, unfortunately, at this time, this product,
Yes.
but that's not that we couldn't eat in the future. I mean, with the advent of the pandemic, we had to quickly find the best product globally and bring that in first.
Yes.
I mean, most of the existing systems or sprayers in the market right now are not cordless and are not electrostatic. I mean, which is cumbersome and difficult to move around, from room to room, or from, from a dining room to, it's cordless. So which is easy and less intrusive for people to use it. Yes. Can I show you how it works?
Pretty much, if it's possible.
It is possible. So
yes.
Basically, all you need to do is turn on the machine.
Okay.
The sprays. You see that?
Fantastic.
Yeah. And you don't need to wipe down the surface at all.
Yes. So which therefore takes me to my next question, Glenna, this morning. Wow. Does it take some level of training, and how long does it take for somebody to understand that sort of thing you've done there?
How long?
Yes.
Sorry, you cut out.
Oh, I don't know, but you can get me now. When somebody looks at it, are you facing a scenario when the people coming in to use it would ask you, train us how to use it first before we can pick it?
Yeah. I mean, so for us, that's part of our ethos in the company, is also to train the staff on how to use it, how to clean it, and it's very easy for us to train. And it just, all it needs is a good set of hands to hold it, of course, because you don't want to drop the product.
Yes.
But other than that, it's a very easy to use product.
Well, the next question is going to be exactly on how your company has been forced to even go into this area. Would you talk to me about how you've been forced to sort of readjust your business models, therefore, at the onset of the coronavirus pandemic, which has even seen you now go into getting some of these machines that we're talking about this morning?
Yeah, because for us, I mean, in the last during the lockdown,
yes,
the 3 months spent was actually looking for products that can help us, aside from obviously what the protocols we have right now, wearing a mask, social distancing, washing hands. I mean, I'm no expert in pandemic outbreaks, but in doing my research, I was shocked to see that in the last 20 years alone, we've had 5 possible outbreaks, all right? And unfortunately, we were unlucky to get hit with COVID. Or was it inevitable? And if it was, I would lean towards the side of caution. Infection prevention and monitoring is probably our best additional armor to wearing masks, hygiene, and social distancing.
Yes.
And a quote Benjamin Franklin once said, "An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure." So for us, prevention is the key. And if we started with our teams and our staff, giving them a place, an area to work with that is safe, because we disinfect their area, I think that it goes a long way.
somebody looking at you would say, but in the future, because your company is now into this sort of thing, would you rather
Right.
now it becomes a Kenyan product 100%? And is it possible for you to go that direction? Because I'd like to say, well, you pretty much went into an area that had demand, but since you're
Yeah.
ready for it now and you've seen, wow, we're a Kenyan company, it's possible for us to get here. Is it possible for us to talk about that?
Yes, I think it is. I mean, the technology is there.
Yes.
Technology is there. It's not I mean, I think it's just to get because it's a patented technology, we'd obviously have to get, the proper licensing and all of that to have it done here.
Yes.
It should be a part as a product. It should be a part because we are not only disinfecting our surfaces, but we are also taking care of ourselves because I remember getting an eye infection in a plane from touching a contaminated surface and then touching my eye. So, I
Yes.
mean, it can be part of our lives in terms of disinfection.
All right. Now, just as we clear this conversation this morning, Glenna,
Yeah.
have we been introduced into a new line of business just because we've had a worldwide pandemic? And talk to me about the opportunities that exist in this area now, which I've seen even your company now get into as well.
Yeah, so I think there is a big potential with this product.
Yes.
Because the range that we have is very good because it's the one with the handheld, which can be used obviously in your offices,
Yes.
in your restaurants, in your hotels, and any professional line. And then we have the backpack, which is obviously much bigger because it holds about 20 liters, and that can be used in manufacturing, in farms, in disinfecting. Farms are huge; they have a lot of staff, and they disinfect all the canteen areas. Where they eat, where they mingle. So it can be part of our lives. You're right.
Pretty much. Therefore, as we clear, let's talk about the price, therefore, because we do know countries price sensitive. How much does that cost me?
That is true. So depending on the product, they range about 100,000 shillings to
Yes.
300,000.
Yes. And you would like to say that's a good product, that's a good price range for corporates, isn't it? And businesses.
Yes, it is. And now imagine this, as we talk about price sensitivity, with the advent, like with the schools opening, when you think about it, are schools gonna open? We don't know, but are parents willing to pay that extra to keep their kids safe, right? And this will clean a classroom in no time, or it will clean the lunchroom in no time. So I think price or safety, you tell me.
Right now, we're going to safety, isn't it? Everybody wants to be safe.
Yeah, that's true.
Glenna, thank you very much for joining us this
Oh, thank
morning
you.
for this
Have a
conversation.
good day, Siva.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. And that's exactly how we
Bye.
come to the end of Metropol's Business Am.